Hello everyone, back to into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. So day 10 will take us to around the 1st of February. Can you believe it? Into the final month of winter 2021, at least meteorological winter 2021. So I shall get on with that for you very shortly. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles they run to around a couple of weeks, so we'll have a look at the GFS V2 for February at the end of the video, and as I said, I shall get on with that for you very shortly. Just to say that the first video update was January Friday, so of course that's a month-end look at with the Japanese and GFS V2 models. And then around 6, 7 this evening, we're going to have the ECM WF 42-day forecast. So that's a 6 weeks forecast with the ECM. And they'll be live streaming after 10 o'clock tonight. So we'll live stream the pub run, and we'll have a look at the snow risk as well for Sunday. So there could be some significant snow across some parts of England and Wales on Sunday, but the devil is in the detail with that. So more about that in what will be like a Snow What / GFS 18Z AK pub run live stream, and that will be coming up for you after 10 o'clock tonight. Now, before I do anything else, I was going to say thank you so much to our latest channel member. This is the last channel member to shout out for the time being. So I'm going to say thank you so much to Sukhoi. I think that's how you pronounce it. I may have got that wrong. But thank you so much to Sukhoi for becoming a channel member for GWV. It's incredible. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Sukhoi, for doing that. If you would like to become a channel member for GWV, it's all you need to do is come to GWV's YouTube homepage, you click the join button, it will send you through to another page where you can see what benefits you get for becoming a channel member and sign up on that page as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Thank you to all of our channel members, thank you to all of our patrons, all of our donors, all of our super chatters, however you support GWV and wherever you support us, thank you so much for doing that. We've hit 10,000 subscribers, of course, we did that at the weekend, so we're waiting to get to 10,100. Some slowed up a lot this week after we've hit 10k, interestingly. So if you aren't yet subbed to our channel, then please can you do so, tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody to subscribe as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. We've got to put on around of a 20, I think, to get our first sort of 100, to 10k 100 subscribers. So we've not got long to go, but as I say, the subs have slowed down a lot over the past few days. We had a massive sort of growth spurt as we went from 9 to 10k. I mean, it's all slowed up quite a lot. This is all very cyclical and very typical of YouTube, so I'm sure it'll start picking up again before too much longer. But thank you so much, everybody, for doing that, and for watching videos, sharing videos, liking videos, however you support GWV. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. Right, okay, let's get on with the video then. I'm going to start off by having a look at the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're looking at Chorley today. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Chorley. We're starting off colder than average. At the moment, we're going to stay pretty cold over the next few days up into the last week of January. Still going to be quite cold. Into the closing days of January, like the 28th to the 31st, we're going to see a milder interlude. So the temperature will become milder later next week. From around Tuesday, Wednesday onwards, we're in for a few days of milder weather. And then, as we've been saying in the videos over the past few days, we're going to the first week of February. Looks like the temperatures start to become cold once again. So cold, milder, and colder is basically the trend for the next couple of weeks. Precipitation-wise, while it's cold, it's not going to be overly unsettled, but there will be some precipitation around, especially on Sunday, and so that's where the risk of maybe some quite significant snow for some parts of England and Wales is coming from, but it's very uncertain this exactly where that snow is going to be. As ever with snow in the UK, it's not straightforward. So yeah, more about that in the live stream later on. After that, next week it gets milder, but also gets wetter again. So it looks like we're going mild and wet through the closing days of January. I mean, as it gets colder into early February, it begins to go drier once again. Temperature anomalies from the 22nd of January to the 30th are going to be below average and colder than average week coming up. Precipitation anomalies from the 22nd to 30th of January, wetter than average for England and Wales, drier than average for Scotland. Here's today's latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net, showing that winds have gone into the north. Those milder westerly Atlantic winds have slipped southwards. They're moving into Biscay and France. We are now in this cold northerly wind once again, as we have been very regularly since Christmas Eve, when of course the northerly is set in. So yeah, it's cold with winds back in from the north once again. This is how the UK Met is looking for Monday. Low pressure will be to our east on Monday, and we'll be drawing down quite a cold northerly wind. So still cold into Monday, even cold, even still cold into Tuesday as well, under a ridge of high pressure. Likely to be a widespread frost to start Tuesday, and then this weather system will start to move in off the Atlantic, and as it comes into cold air, it might begin to turn to snow. Wednesday shows that system struggling across the country. Again, to the north and east of that, it is still cold. West-southwest, we're starting to pull up those milder southwesterly winds, and by the time we get through to Thursday, second half next week, then we're all back into a milder wind, away from the far north Scotland anyway, where it could still be cold there, but generally by the middle to second half next week, it's milder everywhere, with winds back in from west-southwest, but there will be weather fronts that bring outbreaks of rain with those milder winds. This is how the GFS 6Z is looking cold on Monday, with winds still in from the north. Tuesday, and this transient ridge, so again, Tuesday is likely to be quite a cold day for many of us, particularly in the north and the east. Wednesday, that's when we begin to introduce these milder southwesterly winds. So by 6 in the morning on Wednesday, it's milder for the west and southwest. Still probably quite cold in the north and the east. But through Wednesday, those milder winds will advance. And by the time we get through to Thursday, we're all looking milder with winds in from a west-southwesterly direction. Wet and windy for Friday, maybe even a little bit stormy there for England and Wales. Another bout of wet and windy weather on Saturday, 30th of January, and then moving up towards day 10. Again, it looks very unsettled, doesn't it, with deep low pressure over the country, bringing third bouts of rain to the end of January. By the 1st of February, the winds have gone back into the north again. As the low pressure clears away from the east, we turn the wind back into the north once more. Into more extended range, we have low pressure trying to come in off the Atlantic, but it is struggling to move in, so that could produce some snow through the first week of February as this low pressure comes up against the cold air, but will be sitting across the country. There's the prospect of snow, and with that definite stall of weather front taking place, indicated by that low just there across southern England. So that sort of thing that can dump quite a bit of snow to parts of the country through early February. Eventually the Atlantic breaks through. That's how we look as we get to the end of GFS 6Z. Low pressure to the north of Scotland, winds in from the west. But if we could go any further, I suspect we would find this ridge in the Atlantic pushing northwards below to the north of Scotland, would move southwards. We'd probably go back into a northerly once again. Now, this is a parallel run. I shouldn't really be showing you this. I haven't shown you the parallel much this season. So, you know that the GFS always has an upgrade. Every year, the GFS will have an upgrade and go to a new version. And for a while, they will run like the operational GFS with the soon-to-be new operational GFS. And that's called the parallel. So this is very late. Now, for some reason, it's taking like a 24-hour delay to get the parallel charts through. So it's actually generated midday yesterday, Thursday, 21st of January. But it's like the latest run that we can show you. Right, so we start off again over weekend. It's going to be next week looking cold with winds in from the north with a GFS parallel run. Stays cold at Tuesday, then low pressure starts to move in by the end of Tuesday to Wednesday, turning milder. Then turning more unsettled as well. Bouts of rain second half next week. But again, the wind always coming from a milder west-southwesterly, so we end January on a definitively milder note. However, we've got higher pressure beginning to build there at day 10, which, because it's generated yesterday, is the 31st of January. High pressure beginning to build over Scandinavia. That Scandinavian high strengthens as we go through to Monday, the 1st of February. And we've got a deep cold pool sitting to our north and east as well. Now look what the GFS Parallel run does with that as it inflates this Scandinavian high, pulls the wind initially into the southeast and then eventually round to the east as this low pressure dies southwards. That axis will trigger to get wind in from the east. Look at that deep cold pool that is sitting just to our east. That is a beastly easterly lurking just to our east. So the GFS Parallel run does in fact unleash the beast. So we've got a 1055 millibar area of high pressure over Scandinavia, reaching to the Azores high, and that allows this very cold and strong easty wind to blast in, particularly for England and Wales. Look at those upper air temperatures through the first week of February. Got the minus 15 Celsius ice pushing through the country. That's true beast from the east type stuff. It would bring heavy snow in from the east on those east winds, and temperatures would be sub-zero day and night. With that, it would be bitterly cold and there would be a lot of snow, especially for England and Wales, where we've got this strong easterly wind. Last time I saw anything like that was back in the beast from the east at the end of February 2018. And again, there we see on the 5th of February, again, real beast from the east conditions blasting in from the east. I shouldn't be showing you this, but I thought you'd enjoy seeing it. That's as far as we go for GFS Parallel to the 384 hours of the 6th of February. By then beginning to lose the coldest of the upper air temperature, but of course it is still bitterly cold, and much of the country, especially England and Wales, would be snow covered from those very snowy and bitterly cold easts. So the beast is unleashed. The beast is unleashed with the GFS Parallel run. Almost certainly won't verify. But there we go, a little bit of fun there for this Friday afternoon. This how the GM is looking. So again on Monday, we're looking cold with winds in from the north, not beast from the east or beast from the north, just generally quite cold. A little area of low pressure could bring some snow into the south. Then we have this ridge building through to Tuesday. That keeps it mainly dry and cold. Weather front moves in late Tuesday to Wednesday. That will introduce milder air from the southwest. Could be some snow on the leading edge of that front, of course, before it turns back to rain. Second half next week will be milder, with winds coming in from off the Atlantic. Always cold air lurking just to our north and northeast, though, waiting for the next opportunity to pounce. Very mild potentially by Saturday the 30th of January. Got a long effect southwesterly then. That will almost certainly lift temperatures up into double digits if it comes off. But as we move up towards day 10, now this is quite interesting. The GM is also trying to build a Scandinavian high there on the last day of January. There is also a deep cold pool that is sitting just to our east. Now the GM doesn't quite pull it off, not like the GFS Parallel run does anyway, but you can see sort of the same idea there, can't you, actually? From the GFS Parallel to the GM, you can kind of see the same idea of trying to ridge the Azores to the Scandinavian, and a deep cold pulsing to the east. As the upper air temperature shown that it is bitterly cold across much of northern, northeastern Europe. So if that Scandinavian high did successfully develop, which the GM does not do, but if it did successfully develop through the first week of February, you could see that the cold is there to pull in on the easterly wind. So not a million miles away for GM to the GFS Parallel run, actually, particularly there at 216 hours. The high does sort of slip southwards and the high's collapsing by day 10. But at day 9, almost pulls off like a Scandi. Almost pulls off like a Scandi high. So anyway, it's of interest that the GM is sort of flirting with that idea of trying to build up a bit of a Scandinavian high as well for the early part of February. And then we've got the ECM also, so trough low pressure over country on, or to the east of the country actually, on Monday, so cold, and there is a risk of snow late Sunday into Monday. Tuesday still looking quite cold as well. Milder winds begin to re-establish by the time you get from the end of Tuesday into Wednesday. By Thursday we're all milder, and low pressure will bring outbreaks of rain from off the Atlantic Ocean. Friday could be very mild down the south with this southwesterly. Still really quite cold though for northern parts of Scotland. I'm not sure the milder air will ever get into the north of Scotland, really. And as we get towards day 10, it looks like we're starting to pull cold air back in again. As the low pressure is southwards, it looks like we're pulling wind back in from the north again, probably by day 10. This is the precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run. So wintry showers today, particularly some in the northwest, but some will get through to parts of England and Wales as well. Into Saturday, again, a sort of dry weather around for Saturday, but will be further wintry showers, particularly so in the north and northwest. Look at this area of snow coming through Ireland. That heads into Wales and southwestern England by 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and then moves across much of England and Wales south of sort of Manchester anyway, bringing outbreaks of snow. And there's some deep green colours in there all the way down to south coast, indicating, really quite heavy snow is pushing across England and Wales. That's 6 o'clock in the evening on Sunday. Big snow event taking place then through the Midlands into southeastern England, even to London and the southeast. There's snow involved with this. Moving over towards East Anglia as well. So yeah, most of England and Wales will be snow covered by the end of Sunday, if this is right. Even down the south coast, the ECM is showing like persistent snow. Still snow across these parts of England up to midnight on Monday, actually, and another area of snow moving in towards Wales and southwestern England through the course of Monday morning. More towards rain in the extreme southwest, but coming inland, there's another little area of snow there through Wales and southwestern parts of England. So yeah, looking quite snowy, isn't it, with the ECM anyway. On Sunday, we will examine much more in way of model output for our live stream tonight, and see how much support the ECM has. That'll be after 10 o'clock. We go through into next week, and of course going to get milder. So initially there could be some snow in the north, rain further southwards, and this is the transition into milder Atlantic air. So after that, it's just bouts of rain heading in from the Atlantic, particularly focused actually on England and Wales. So looking very wet through next week. Again, some snow always possible for Scotland, as you're much closer to the cold air that's lurking just to our north and northeast. And up to day 10, further bouts of rain, really, but by the time you get through to day 10 itself, which is like 1st of February, just suggesting it's beginning to get a bit colder again, so that could be starting to turn a bit wintry over Northern high ground. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today for day 10, which gets us to the 1st of February. Have 20 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure away to our northwest. Low pressure is sitting over and to the east of the country. Winds therefore are going back into more of a northerly. That does include the control and the operational run. 17 again with high pressure in the North Atlantic up towards Greenland, low pressure in of the Atlantic into Northern Europe. Winds in from the west. That's going to be generally a little bit more Atlantic driven and probably a bit milder. And 14 with extensive northern blocking, high pressure from Canada all the way over Scandinavia. Low pressure is sort of over the country, but that's going to be having a really good go again. The wind into the east with that sort of level of northern blocking. So that could be starting to turn things colder and more wintry by the beginning of February. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This goes to the 6th of February. Have 12 members of the ECM ensembles with an Arctic high, ridging down to a mid-Atlantic ridge. Low pressure to our east. Winds will be in from the north with that. 10 with low pressure over and to the east of the country, high pressure up towards Greenland and Canada. So that's trying to get wind in from the north, but may still be a little bit westerly, so it could be transitioning something colder. 9 just here with low pressure over and to the south of the country, combined with high pressure centred right over Greenland and Iceland. That could be cold and wintry, cold and snowy potentially with that, with winds in from the east or northeast. 8 down here again with very extensive northern blocking, high pressure ridging from Canada through Greenland, through Iceland to Scandinavia, low pressure to our south, winds in from the east. That's going to be potentially very cold. 6 looking milder. We have got high pressure up to our northeast, but the low pressure just to our west-southwest would keep the wind in for a west-southwesterly direction. And then 6 just here with high pressure to the north of Scotland up to Greenland. Low pressure to our south. Winds will be in from the east, and that will be cold. Most of the options seem to involve cold weather coming back, I think. Most of these options involve cold weather returning through the first week of January. Probably almost certainly not to GFS Parallel run levels, which is unleashing the beast. But, probably getting colder again, if anything. through the first week of February, and the risk of snow probably increasing through the first week of February as well. And talking of February, lastly for this video, this is how the GFS is forecasting February today with its 700 millibar height anomaly. And it's going for very extensive northern blocking within the northern latitudes, high pressure from Greenland up to Svalbard, low pressure is over into the south of the country, winds will be in from the east. You know, there's very little to say about that other than you would expect a cold and wintry month with that. Temperature anomalies have no signal for the UK and Ireland, but look at Scandinavia, looking significantly colder than average across Scandinavia. And given the setup, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever why those cold temperatures shouldn't be plunging down into sort of Western Europe, really. So I would expect a cold and average month if that 700 millibar height anomaly came off for the UK and for Ireland. Notice extremely cold month being forecast for much of Canada, particularly like western and northwestern Canada and down into the northwest of America, whilst the east and the southeast America forecast to be much milder than average. But yeah, I would definitely go for a cold February if that 700 millibar height anomaly came off, with these cold temperatures from Scandinavia being pushed out into west of Europe and pushed down into west of Europe. And a rather dry month as well, which you will always get with northern blocking, you know, or typically you will anyway. So largely driving average to north of Scotland, driving average to Scandinavia. You can see where the blocking is with that. So blocking keeps it dry around Iceland. Blocking keeps it dry towards Svalbard. Blocking keeps it dry towards Norway. A lot of northern blocking, which is why you would expect a cold month with wind in from the east. It's all speculative, it's all just for fun, but there we go, CFS going to town on northern blocking and the chance of a cold February today, as we explained with JMA Friday as well, actually. Right, if you enjoyed this video, please can you click like, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. We want to get to 10,100 subscribers next, so thank you so much everybody for doing that. Tell your friends about Gals Webbers, get them to subscribe too. We're on the grind to 11k subscribers really now, well alternately 20k subscribers, but our next target will be 11,000 subscribers. So please get your friends, family, everybody else to subscribe. Tell them about Gals Webbers and the content that we do. And if you subscribe, you will be able to see future weather content. And that'll be absolutely fantastic. Click the bell notification icon thing too, and YouTube will notify you when we are releasing videos and live streaming. Drop a comment and let us know what you think. Right, that's it for this one. We'll be back around 6 to 7 o'clock tonight. And for that, we're going to be looking at the ECMWF 42-day forecast. So that'll take us through rest of winter with the ECMWF. And then we're going to be live streaming tonight after 10 o'clock. We will have a look at GFS 18Z, aka Pub Run. And we'll bring you up to date with all of Sunday's latest developments in terms of, but potential anyway, for quite a significant snow event for parts of England and Wales. So more about that later on. For this video though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.